Alright folks, how you doing? So, a lot of people are weighing in on Will Smith's apology and his resignation from the Academy and all that. Well, my thought on that is, first of all, was it him that actually resigned? And what do I mean by that? Well, people would say, of course he resigned. Didn't you watch the videos on YouTube and read the news and all that? Well, here's the thing. Will Smith is actually an empath, and his wife, Jada Pinkett-Smith, is a narcissist. Most likely a mid-range narcissist. And the thing about mid-range narcissists is that they have a thing called facade management. So Will Smith's resignation could be his PR team or his attorney or very likely his wife, or maybe a combination of all those. Maybe it was his wife and his PR team. His manager saying to him, you should apologize and resign to save face. Well, the thing is, empaths don't really care about saving face, but narcissists do, especially mid-rangers. So, first of all, we have to establish whether it was really Will Smith who actually apologized, or was it his wife talking through him, or was it his PR team talking through him? Because the thing about empaths is that they're rather naive. They really are. Just go on to a channel like Raven Reads and listen to some of the stalker stories. Empaths can be very, very naive people. Maybe it's not a good idea to be talking to the weirdo at the back of the class who likes to doodle drawings of himself disemboweling the family cat. Normals, narcissistic, even narcissists wouldn't go near them, but empaths would, because empaths are trusting and naive and frankly kind of stupid sometimes. They ignore the red flags. They ignore the warning signs. Oh, they're just misunderstood, really. No, they're narcissists. Oh, that's a shame for them. People should really talk to that guy who's sitting at the back of the class doodling himself, disemboweling his family cat. No, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe most people who have common sense realize that that guy's a fucking weirdo and you should really stay clear of him, but not empaths. Empaths can be very fucking frustrating. And they can be, well, not in the same way as a narcissist, but they can be cowardly. Mid-rangers are known, but certain types of mid-rangers especially, are known to be pretty craven, pretty cowardly. If you actually confronted them, you'd get the rictus grin, a la Harry's wife, a la every mid-range narcissist, that kind of insta kind of like this, that looks kind of creepy. Yeah. I mean, Prince Harry ought to get together with Will Smith, and those two ought to be doubling up on the therapy sessions, because they're both empaths married to narcissists, So, is it really Will Smith who's apologizing? That's the first thing that we need to find out. Should we accept it? Well, empaths, here's the thing about them, they will apologize, and they do feel bad. Does Will Smith actually feel bad about what happened? Yeah, probably he does, because he's an empath. Empaths have more emotional intuition than other types of people, more so than normals like myself, or narcissists who have none. So does he feel genuinely bad? Yeah, he does. I don't see any issue believing that. Is Will Smith a narcissist himself? No, but like Prince Harry, when empaths are around narcissists for extended, protracted periods of time, they take on the characteristics of narcissists. So sometimes empaths can be mistaken for narcissists because you're only as good as the company you keep, quite frankly. And if you are around narcissists for a long period of time, it's rather like standing next to a nuclear reactor for a long period of time. You're going to get infected. You're going to become contaminated. So it's not a good idea to spend a long periods about, especially empaths, but this can happen with normals as well, because empaths are basically sponges that soak up everything around them. So if empaths are around narcissists long enough, they can be mistaken for narcissists. So narcissistic behaviours will come out from Will Smith because he's around one all the time. And it's the same with Prince Harry. He's been mistaken for a narcissist. No, he's not. Prince Harry is not a narcissist. He's married to one. There's a distinct difference. If you get empaths away from narcissists for long enough, their normal behaviours will return. It's like, if you stop drinking, you will eventually sober up, It's kind of like that, to use a crude analogy. But yeah, the reason why Will Smith slapped Chris Rock is basically he was afraid of his wife. He was afraid of sleeping on the couch for the next month. He was afraid of I addressed this before. He was afraid of the verbal slaughtering that he would get when they got home. She would dress him down and make him feel this tall. you know. So you do have to bear that in mind. Should we feel sorry for Will Smith? Not really. You know, he did choose to marry this woman. You know, he's Will Smith. He's got hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank. He's one of the top movie stars in the world. He's a very good looking and talented man. He could have his pick of the bunch. Believe me, if Will Smith wanted to get a good quality, decent woman like that, he wouldn't even have to blink. You know, they'd be queuing up outside the door and round the block. Instead, he's chosen to, you know, he's a grown man. He's chosen to marry a narcissist, and he's chosen to stay with a narcissist. And he's going to have to live with the consequences of that for the rest of his life. He's a grown-ass man, you know. But empaths can be a bit like naive children. But what can you do? They are what they are. In fact, narcissists, you know, certain types of narcissists, they can become predictable, and you can learn to spot them after a certain amount of time. Empaths, on the other hand, are just hopelessly fucking naive. Some types more than others, but, you know, they do kind of bring it on themselves at the end of the day. You can only blame the narcissist up to a point, you know. He's a grown fucking man. But, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, thanks for watching.